Hey you guys, I am here. We're doing a reaction video to Kristen Sangary. I hope that's how you say her name. Her latest song already done. She just released it, I think like a week ago. So I'm actually going to be reacting to the band portion of this video. So let's get started. Okay, notice how the intro was very grand. It was very big. You heard some drums come in, you heard synths come in. But then when it was transitioning to verse 1, you hear that sort of fade out, and we're fading down to a softer tone.
A promise you haven't kept. I know you'll finish what you started.
So the band's really giving her room here to sing the song. That's the point of verse 1, is you really want the congregation or whoever's listening to the song to hear the lyrics. You want them to hone in on the lyrics. So the music is definitely in the background, which is where they should be. You hear a little bit of a acoustic guitar. You hear some piano in there. And you also hear they're playing low. They're playing very simple, just almost chording at this point and allowing the song to have space. You've heard me say this before, but if you want dynamics in a song, you have to give a song space.
And is there a mountain you cannot climb? I know there isn't one that is too high. Say I may not see.
Okay, it does sound like the piano player changed inversions when they went into the chorus. It's just a slight change. And also it sounds like the acoustic guitar player added a little more movement. I don't know what this is called, maybe strumming. I'm not an acoustic guitar player. But that brings the song up just a little bit. So you'll notice if you scroll to the very end of the song, you would hear that it sounded a lot more dynamic than the beginning. That's what you want, okay? You want that slow and gradual growth so that the song has room to go somewhere. Great view of the piano player's hands right there, and you saw he's not chording. He's not beating the song to death. He's sort of breaking apart his chords, which is what you want to pay attention to in your playing as well.
He's gonna work it out somehow, for I know.
Okay, let's talk about what you don't hear at this point of the song. I don't hear drums. I don't hear drums. Okay, say that louder for the people in the back. I won't say it again because you guys heard me. But if you want to play a song and it sound good, you have to know when not to play. That's important. Right there, the drums came in. The drums are in soft, but it makes another change in the music. You want all those little transitions are so important. Now, I'm guessing, if you're a part of this music team, you could let me know in the comments below, but I'm guessing that there is some sort of click going on in their ears. You will hear that the singer, you'll see that the singers do have in-ears, the musicians do as well, so I'm sure that they're not relying in the beginning on just everyone to keep the same tempo. I'm pretty sure that they have some sort of click in their ear that's keeping them on track, so when the drums come in, it sounds like, oh, now the drums are in, but keep in mind that the drums aren't necessarily keeping the tempo. All the musicians are keeping the tempo together, and this is what makes music sound really good, when you're not relying on the drummer to keep the beat. Okay, the drums are in the background. This part of the song is really heavy on synth. So, if you have a second keys player, you're going to want your sound guy to really kind of turn them up. In fact, if you do this song in your church, send the recording to your sound team so they can listen beforehand and know how the song goes, know what it's supposed to sound like. Often we miss that step when it comes to preparing for service. And to me, sound is one of the most important steps. So, second keys, find a sound that sounds similar to this as close as you can get. That's really going to add to the flow of the song. It just makes it sound almost angelic. Oh, I love a good transition. Did you hear that? The "Dra is there a-" That chord run, dra, all the musicians did it. You specifically heard acoustic guitar do it, dra, but they played that chord and let it ring out. Okay, letting it ring out means you just play the chord, hold your sustain pedal, or if you're a stringed instrument, you don't touch the strings again. You just let it kind of fade out till it's time to play the next chord, and that is a great way to go back into verse 2. Piano's doing a little bit of fancy work, up a little higher. Oftentimes we tend to want to turn instruments up when we can't hear them, but I don't know a lot about EQ. I wish I knew more. I actually want to study more about EQ because, like I said, I feel like sound is so important. But your keyboard player is actually going a little higher to play those runs. If you'll rewind and listen to verse 2, you're hearing just a little bit of piano here and there. It's kind of flowing in and out, and it's because the piano player is playing higher to allow you to hear those tones. Acoustic guitars, even electric guitars, if they're chording, and pianos often play sort of in the same octave range. And when everything is in the same octave range, it's hard to hear. So adding that differentiation, really getting comfortable with your instrument. You can tell the piano player is comfortable with playing the piano, which is important if you're going to be a piano player. That allows you to really add little snippets of beauty with your fills. Listen to the drums. The drums is driving this part a little more. So we're bringing it up slowly but surely. Even your instruments are sort of driving just a little bit, playing more solid chords instead of just separating all the notes. You can even see the guitar player playing that full chord. Drive. That's a drive. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's a great transition to wherever they're going. I have no idea, but we're about to find out. Okay, you can hear the full chords that everybody's playing. You can hear the fullness on this part. All the musicians are together. Nobody's really trying to stand out at this point. Rewind and say that again. Nobody's really trying to stand out at this point. They're all playing together. That's what makes it sound so good. You heard that da 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 da. Let me play that again. The little drive. You specifically hear it on the drums. The other instruments are doing it as well. Okay, now drums are in with a full snare. Keyboardist is playing not in the same low tone he was in verse 1, in a higher octave. Okay, so you see they go back into the chorus there. I guess that's what it's called. We're going to call it the chorus. They go back into the chorus there, and the musicians cued the song and the singers. We are going back into the chorus. The way they did that is they kept that volume, kept the fullness. They kept doing what they were doing to signal to everyone we're going back into the chorus. Listen again. Here we go. Okay, one of my favorite transition tricks, and this relies a lot on drums, but you'll notice this part of the drums, you'll hear his foot pedal going, and you'll hear the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and on the cymbals, there's no snare at this point. That is another way to transition into a bridge. That's a great thing to do right there. And the da 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 da, you definitely hear electric guitar. This song is mixed really well, so I'm curious to know if the keyboard player is also playing that octave da 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 da, which is a possibility. Okay, so I would say that the band is probably 90% in right now in volume. Remember, that's so funny, the camera angle right there is kind of funny. Let me pull it back a little bit. Remember that your volume on the piano is not controlled by the volume knob or the volume slider. It's controlled by touch. That's what you need to rely on. So at this point of the song, you should actually be playing a little harder. Driving it. Those punches, I can't see, were really clean. All of the instruments were playing those punches at the same time, okay? There wasn't a guitar player that was behind or a piano player that was punching it too early. They nailed that. Drive. Those punches, they nailed them. Drive. Okay, I'm curious to see if they bring the end of this song down. We're about a minute away from the end of this video, so let's pay attention as you're watching the rest of this video to the transitions. So that little trick right there seems like everybody's playing that trick, except for maybe the bass player. I feel like the bass player is still holding down the note. I can't do this with my headphones on. I could actually hear the bass a little better because then you guys can't hear the audio. So they didn't actually transition anywhere. I'd be interested to see how in a live service this song would go. Although, a good tip, if you are doing a song that's heading into preaching or prayer, is to keep playing, keep the volume, keep the movement of the song. So this little trick right here is a great thing to do to keep the service flowing, to keep people worshiping while the preacher comes up. And that way it gives your pastor or the service leader the ability to say, let's keep singing, or they can bring the song down. But music plays such a pivotal role in transitions that this trick is definitely one that you're going to want to use in your services. Send me videos that you would like to see me react to. I'm trying to help you guys pay attention and develop an ear to music and how to implement these tricks into the songs that you guys do in your local church. So thank you guys for joining and watching this video today. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys later. Bye, everybody.